Hello and welcome to Frost Over the World. In today's programme we'll examine Islamic fundamentalism in North Africa following the bombings in Algeria. We'll hear who's making the running in the French elections and meet the world's first female space tourist. Not to mention the best-selling author as well, Ian McEwan. But first, it's been more than a month since BBC journalist Alan Johnston went missing in Gaza. Despite repeated calls from the Palestinian authorities for his release, it's still not known who's holding him and why. British government officials have even held a face-to-face meeting with the Palestinian Prime Minister Ismail Haniya, who was with us, of course, a few weeks ago. I'm joined now by Mr. Haniya's spokesman and general right-hand man, Ghazi Hamad. Mr. Hamad, welcome. Can I start by asking you what the latest news is about Alan Johnston?
I think we have now maybe full information about his place and where is he. But you know that we have some consultation with the British government in order to deal how can we treat this problem, because really we want to solve this problem peacefully, without victims, without injuries, without we want him to be saved without harms. So, but I think we as the security forces are working day and night in order to release him, and I hope that in a couple of days we can finish this tragedy.
And in 2 days that would be great news, and in fact if he was then released. But it does mean that from what you just said that you are pretty confident you know almost exactly where he is at the moment, but that you don't want to endanger his life.
Yeah, we still believe that people who kidnap him, maybe they are dangerous people, but we think they have no political background for this kidnapping. Until now, we as a government, we did not receive any demand from these people, money or something like that. They still keep silent. In spite, we try to find some channels to talk to him, to talk to them, to convince them to release. But you know that there are some groups they deny that they have kept the Alan Johnston. But I think we have information, and we also try now to filtrate this information in order to make a correct decision to save and to release him. But you know, because we don't want this man to be injured or harmed, we have to take some precautions and some steps in order to guarantee his life and to save him peacefully without consequences.
Well, we'll all pray that your efforts will come to pass in that way peacefully. Of course, at the moment, there's also Ghazi. Also, there's the proposed prisoner exchange deal for the Israeli corporal for Corporal Shalit, and you've suggested 1,400 people who you would like to be released in return for him, and so on. Do you think that is going to happen?
Yeah, I think there is big possibility, but this depends on the Israeli side. If Israel really deal positively with the list of the names offered by the Palestinian side, I think this will open the door for opportunity to achieve the compromise, to achieve the deal. But we know that Israel, they have a sensitivity for some names, or the majority of the names of the detainees, because they make kind of a classification and discrimination between the prisoners. This is a tourist, this is not tourist, this is there's blood on his hand, and I think they should not believe in this way. We as a Palestinians, we don't take care for the criteria and the parameters of the Israeli side, because we look to the prisoners as fighters, as Palestinians. There is no discrimination between Hamas or Fatah or any Palestinian faction. So, and you know that Israel has released detainees with a deal with Hezbollah before, I think, 1 or 2 years, and they released people who killed Israelis. And also in 1985, also they released people, about 1,500 people. Many of them, they killed Israelis amid some military operation. So I think it is not time now to waste time to talk about the classification between the prisoners. So I suggest, if Israel deals seriously with the demands of the Palestinian side, I think in a couple of days we can finish all this operation. If Israel is interested now to release Shalit, and I think they should forget all these criteria and these parameters, and should look forward that we want to achieve a compromise. You know, if they're concerned about one soldier, we have 10,000 Palestinians in the Israeli detainees, in the Israeli jails. So we as a government, we try to help and we try to contribute with the contact with the Egyptian, with the Palestinian faction, especially with Hamas, in order to push him to finish this in a very short time.
One other question. Condoleezza Rice has said, as you know, that she thinks a peace deal can be reached between the Israelis and the Palestinians by the time that President Bush leaves office in January 2009. That's less than 2 years. Do you think in less than 2 years there can be a complete deal between the Israelis and the Palestinians?
I think the problem is not the problem of time. It is a problem of there is serious intention or not. I think that the picture is very clear. There is occupation. We want, as a Palestinian, to put end for the occupation. They can do it in 1 year. They can do it in 2 years. And they can make it in 20 years. But I think sometimes United States, because they put in their mind that they want to support Israel, they want to support the occupation, they don't want to help the Palestinians. So I think this will take 30 years, 1 century. But because we believe that United States is not serious to be honest mediator, and also try to bring the people to the serious steps. So I think that we as a Palestinian now, as a government also, we said that our demands are clear. We want Palestinian independent state. We want the right of return for the refugees. We want Jerusalem as a capital for Palestine. We want to put in for the occupation. I think if there is serious negotiation between the Palestinians and the PLO by President Abbas, we can achieve a solution in a very short time. I think it is enough that we have wasted more than 13 years in negotiation without nothing.
Right, well, that's a very interesting, thoughtful point on which to end. We do thank you very much indeed, Ghazi, for joining us today, and we look forward to talking again soon, and we will watch the diary, make a note in the diary for January 2009. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
After the break, we'll discuss Islamic militancy in Northern Africa, following this week's bomb attacks in Algeria.